Check this.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is your, I don't know if I'm your favorite or not, but I'm a guy, you know. Anyway, I'm here. I've got a special guest this morning, just this afternoon, just for a short little period of time. I got hold of him. He is, I'm not going to say where because he doesn't have permission to say what hospital he's in, but he's at a hospital location somewhere near you. Anyway, Dr. Ali Karim is going to be on with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about all this confusion with COVID. And you know, let's just bring him on. Okay. Ali, how are you, sir?
Hey, Lee, how's it going? Thanks for having me. You doing all right?
Hey, listen, I'm doing great. I just was letting everybody know you're just coming on shift at work. So we only got a couple minutes with you.
Show the face.
Show the face. Yeah.
There we go. I got to wear this, though. Sorry.
I understand. Well, you're at the hospital. So any hospital, ladies and gentlemen, any hospital you're at, you got to be careful because there's so much going on. Even before COVID, you just got to be a little bit careful. So,
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, because that's where people go with disease.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the hospitals try really hard, especially in the ER, that's a scary place because somebody might come in because they're having some weird, and all of a sudden they go, uh-oh, this guy lockdown. It's one of those crazy things. So I know you're getting ready to go to work and everything like that, Dr. Karim. But I have couple questions. I'm gonna give you my lay down. Okay, my buddy and I, we went and had lunch today. We met where we had lunch. We go inside to order, but we're good distance from him. The guy doesn't have any customers inside his place at all. All the chairs are put up. The people come in. We were the only ones in there at the time. But as people came in, they stayed way away from us and him. We ordered our food. We got our drink, and outside, then he lets us put a table outside. Everybody else was doing to go. So we put a table outside on the sidewalk with a couple chairs, me and my buddy, and we were across from each other a good 5-6 feet across the table. And we had lunch and talked and hang out. And my buddy's been real careful about, obviously where he is, his family and stuff like that. And I've been super careful as well. So what kind of danger did I put myself in there?
After the thorough description of this meal, I would say that very minimal danger. You followed pretty much most of the recommendations, and it sounds like the restaurant was following the recommendations as well.
Right.
You said there was nobody inside, and you guys were sitting like 6 feet apart. So sounds like everybody kind of did what they were supposed to, especially with the mask. That's kind of like the key to the whole thing.
Can't wear the mask when you're eating, but yeah, we did. We had our masks when we were inside. Absolutely. And then we didn't take them off until we were outside eating. And
that's okay because outside there's like wind and sun and forces that like denature and destroy the virus. So it's better to be outside than inside.
Well, that's what we're hearing. Okay, so tell me, what percentage would you say outside, as long as you're not near anybody, but maybe just one person talking across the table to the other? What kind of risk is that?
Let's think. Yeah. Let's think of it in terms of like carbon dioxide, like when we take a breath. When you take a breath indoors and you exhale that carbon dioxide, there's about 38,000 parts per million of carbon dioxide for every breath.
Right.
Whereas if you take that same breath outside, it's down to about 350 or so. So it's about 100 times less of the carbon dioxide, which we'll use as kind of like a frame of reference analogously to the virus, exposure outside than inside.
Okay. All right. So I don't want to dismiss that there's any chance of getting COVID outside, right? I mean, it would be like a 99.9% chance you won't get COVID if you're keeping distance and you're outside. Would that, or what would you say for those who lean on percentages, and
it's definitely not a 99% you won't get it. Especially if you're not following the other guidelines. Let's say you're not 6 feet apart or more than 6 feet apart. Let's say you're not wearing a mask. Let's say you're around somebody for a very extended period of time, because time is part of the equation as well, because that increases the amount of particles you are inhaling. One particle is not going to give you COVID. You need to have a certain amount of those inhaled to actually, have the virus overtake your system. So if you minimize the time, if you wear a mask, if you keep a safe distance, you're going to decrease that percentage chance. It's never going to be zero,
Right.
And if you're around like a lot of people, like, if you're at a rave party or something, or at a concert, obviously the chance is higher than, your lunch today with your friend.
I can do that if I have a mask on, though, right? Rave?
I wouldn't.
No, I don't imagine I would do that as well. So that's the other thing too, I guess. So right now at this stage, is the mask wearing for your protection or for the other people's protection?
That's a great question. It's actually for the protection of others. You think that, I got to do this so I don't get sick. But in reality, every breath we take is putting viral particles into the air. So if you wear this mask, those viral particles are getting contained inside of this mask. And therefore, anybody that comes around you in this vicinity right in front of you is not going to be exposed to the virus. So it's less so about you. It's more so about preventing the virus from getting out.
Okay. Now, I just saw something on CDC yesterday, and I don't know how old it was. Good Lord, it could have been from 2 years ago. She could have been talking about something completely different. But she was talking about the fact that the latest that they have is that asymptomatic people don't transfer the virus as much as people were scared that they would. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And have you heard anything about that?
I have heard about that. I think that they need more studies to be able to say that. We're still learning about this virus.
Sure, absolutely.
Doctors don't even know half the time what is causing people to get sick with this virus. And some people we see lung disease, and other people we see vascular disease. It's still kind of unclear what exactly it's doing to the body.
Right.
Hence why we don't have a treatment completely yet. But, I would say that there is a possibility that asymptomatic people may transmit it less, because maybe they have a decreased viral load. Because the way that we measure the virus is by measuring what's called the mRNA, which is it's part of the DNA transcribing process when a virus duplicates, essentially. Okay. And this mRNA is something that can actually be seen in some people who don't even have the virus anymore. Let's say I got the virus today. I was extremely sick for the next 2 weeks. But 6 weeks from now, my PCR test, polymerase chain reaction test that looks for the mRNA, can still be positive, but I may not be contagious because the dead mRNA could still be in my system.
Sure. Is that antibodies, having the antibodies from the virus? Or
no, it's different. It's different. Antibodies are the protein enzyme created by your immune system it's like a soldier that is created to respond and kill the virus, essentially, to prevent the virus from infecting cells. Whereas mRNA is the actual DNA of the virus itself.
The virus itself. Okay. Yeah. So you may not have built up the antibodies. You may still, like people, can I say this, with chicken pox? People who had chicken pox, but they still are susceptible to have them because they haven't really built up enough antibodies while they had the chicken pox. You follow what I'm saying?
I'm following. With chicken pox, usually you're not going to get chicken pox again. It's like a once in your life. It is. But okay. The chicken pox presentation itself, usually you develop antibodies and it goes away, as soon as you get it in childhood. But then the virus actually remains in your body latent like your whole life, and it can come back as shingles when you're older, which presents differently.
Are shingles, are they communicable?
Are they what?
shingles communicable? Can
Yeah,
you
shingles is something that when somebody in the hospital comes with shingles, you put them on contact precaution.
isolation? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, isolation, exactly.
Okay, so just like chickenpox, you just want to keep whoever has
Yeah,
never had
the
chickenpox
same
away
virus.
from them. It's the same virus at all. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And you could have shingles after you've had chickenpox.
Years later.
Years later. Okay. I don't know how I got onto the chickenpox thing. I was just wondering. So back to COVID.
Yeah.
If you have the antibodies, is it a chance that you still have the virus or no?
Once you have the antibodies, okay, there's actually a curve that we can't show right now, but once the antibodies start to build up, the virus itself goes down. It's kind of like an inverse curve type thing.
Sure.
But now we're starting to see there's this concern that the antibodies after 2 or 3 months, they actually decrease in your system. Usually the antibodies stay forever. You don't see this decrease.
Yeah.
But we're seeing that the antibodies for COVID potentially go down after 2 months, and people who initially had a positive antibody test and showed this immunity 2-3 months later, they no longer have immunity.
Have you had anybody come back with COVID after having COVID?
I think we're still in the learning process for that, because that's something that wouldn't happen until like months later. But once we have a second peak in the fall, which is probably going to happen soon, if it's not already, even though it's summer, we're probably going to see people potentially who had it before now have it again. I have seen people come into the hospital like a month, 2 months later, still with a positive PCR test, but they didn't have symptoms anymore. So that's kind of the dead virus thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. I'm going to let you go because I know you got to go to work and everything like that. But the last question I have, if I can remember it now. The last question was, what was the last question I wanted to ask you?
Shingles.
No, stop that. I had it in my head and I just completely slipped out of my brain. The question was, dang it, Lee. Oh, well, can't remember what it was. It was something along the lines of finding out if, I thought I'd be able to trigger myself.
Was it vaccine related or something?
No, it wasn't. I can ask. What have you heard as far as that's concerned? The vaccine. This is not going to turn into an AIDS issue where it morphs and you can't get a vaccine because it keeps changing with HIV.
Well, we've already found various mutations of COVID, and there's been one mutation in Europe, then there's another one in Asia, there was another one in America. Now they're saying the one in Europe has come to America somehow through air travel or whatever. So the mutations have already existed, but there's not significant mutation in the protein that the vaccine is going to target. So hopefully, if there isn't any other big mutation that's going to happen in the future, that means that the vaccine will be effective. However, we are expediting the whole vaccine trials like 6,000% than what it normally is. Like normally it takes like 6 years to do this, and now we're doing it in like 6 months or something. My math is totally off there, but the point is that we have expedited that tremendously, and that can be both good and bad. Maybe if we nail the right vaccine extremely fast and the FDA fast tracks it, we can fix this virus, get rid of this virus. But maybe potentially that was a big mistake, and we're going to fast track something that's not that effective because we didn't have a large enough sample size. So it's currently in phase 3 trials, the Moderna vaccine. There's a bunch of other competing companies, like 20-something competing. Whoever gets it is going to be a billionaire.
Yeah, right. We got to figure out how to fix that deal. I think everybody should get the same piece of the pie, and I don't think anybody should be getting billionaires.
I will say people should get their flu shots as soon as that comes out, because if you get the flu and COVID at the same time, that is not going to be good.
You just reminded me of the question.
Take care of the one you can take care of.
You just reminded me of the question I had. So one of the questions I have a friend who's, it could be, he's had a running fever, but I think he's just got, I think he just found out because he's in the ER right now, that he has a urinary tract infection, which has kept him from being able to go to the restroom. And I think that's why he's at the ER. I just got word that he was in the ER. I talked to him earlier this morning, and he was telling us that he hadn't peed all day. So the doctor was worried about that. So that might have been the cause of the fever, the infection that he has in his urinary tract. Because he's also at risk. He's over 60. and so he was a little worried at first. His wife was staying away from him because but they hadn't really had any contact. So I said, well, I don't think you have COVID then if you haven't had contact with anybody.
Right.
Neither one of them has, and so that was just my doctor's opinion. But the question is the summer? They talked about how the summer might bring down the COVID incidents. And we've seen it's mostly because there's been more tests being done that the rise is going up, but I don't know that that's been the case per se. My question to you though is, and you can address that question. But the main question I have for you is are the symptoms because of the heat and everything, have they been quelled a little bit for people who are testing positive and coming in and they just got a little bit of a cough and maybe a slight fever because of the heat, which they say messes with the virus and kind of dumbs it down? Can you address do you understand where I'm kind of getting at?
Yeah. I'll answer all 3 questions.
All right. So, rock on. Got it.
The first one, your friend probably has a fever from a UTI and nothing else, probably no COVID. The second one, yes, the increased testing has definitely assisted in percentages going down and things like that. In the beginning, when South Korea had COVID, back in like March or something, they did a really good job with quarantining, isolating, wearing masks, etc., because they're used to this stuff from coronavirus 10 years ago. And their death percentage at that time was around 0.6%. So we knew even from the beginning that, hey, this is not as deadly as some other viruses like MERS and SARS. It's probably more like the flu. But our testing protocols in this country were not great in the beginning. And as a result, we had a lot of people passing away that probably should not have, I would say.
Sure.
Or maybe just our numbers looked a little bit skewed. But the third one regarding summertime and symptoms being less, regardless of when you get an infection, symptoms will always be the same. This is for everything. So it being hotter didn't really make like lung symptoms less. It's possible that because of the high temperatures, the COVID itself became less transmissible because maybe there was less particles in the air because the sun and the heat denatured it more. It made it safer for people to be outside, etc., which is definitely going to flip again in the wintertime. People should be aware of that. Because with the flu, you see the flu go away in the summertime, right?
Right.
So just the fact that this has not gone away, typically.
Yeah.
Just the fact that this has not gone away and it's still increasing in some places shows us how bad it is in terms of transmissibility and how bad it could potentially get in the wintertime if the country and people get too lax in their behavior.
Right. But if you stay vigilant, wear your mask, keep your distance, then typically you're going to be okay.
Stay home, watch some TV, go learn the piano at home.
Right.
I know it's hard to stay home. People get stir crazy, but the solution is right there in front of everybody.
Yeah. You don't have to stay home, but stay away from people. I mean, you can go outside, take a walk in the park, whatever, you know what I mean? Right. I mean, that's just not telling people to stay in their house. I mean, they can go outside, but just stay away from people.
No, they don't have to be a hermit, but even when you go outside, don't go in like large groups and don't walk through large groups and don't stay in conversations for long periods of time with a bunch of people with not much distance and no mask. As long as people have good hygiene and follow these behavior patterns that minimize exposure, I think they'll be fine.
All right. Dr. Ali Karim, ladies and gentlemen. I won't say what hospital, but it's one near you, folks, and he knows what he's doing. So, hey, listen, thank you so much. We'll have you back. When we start getting confused again, we'll call you up and we'll get you on. Or if anything else, starts to move around and starts becoming, and if you hear of anything, man, give me a call. We'll have you on. I'd love if any new stuff starts to present itself and or you're seeing the tide really starting to subside, we're buddies on Facebook now, so holler at me and I'll have you on. Okay.
All righty.
I appreciate your time today, buddy. I really do. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
All right. See you.
Stay safe.
Bye. Well, there you go, boys and girls. So basically the news is about the same. I mean, it's you got to stay safe, wear your mask, don't And I think the one thing that's kind of new there for me that I'm going to pay attention to also is don't stay in conversation with somebody, even when you're 6 feet apart, a long-term conversation, if that person has COVID. Now, see, that's the other thing too. If the person doesn't have COVID, then you can hug and kiss, and I'm not recommending that to anyone. And you don't know. No one knows. I don't even know if I don't have COVID. I don't think I do. I've been keeping really conscientious about distancing, but I've been in the hospital setting. I have to every week go give blood, but I go in with my mask on. But I will tell you that I just came up with a question that I didn't ask Dr. Karim, but I think that it's something. If you're out in the air and things are whisking around you, and let's say someone had COVID that you interacted with, like the lady who was drawing my blood, she wore a mask, of course, but for some reason, let's say she had COVID and some of those viral pieces, I don't think very many viral pieces are getting through her mask, is what Dr. Karim was saying. But we'll have him back on and we'll talk to him. If you guys ever have any questions you want to ask one of my guests, I would ask you to please, by all means, I keep blocking my face with my hand. By all means, give me a holler. Drop me a note. Lee M. Bailey, as you see right there. Oh, let me get over top of my microphone. Right there. Also, don't forget to like and share. That's my favorite thing. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions whenever we're doing the show. We're gonna get to the point where we're gonna be telling you who our guests are, like several days in advance, except for last minute guests. We're going to start telling people in advance what guests we're going to be having on and what their specialty is, what kind of questions they'll be answering. And if you have any, you can always just drop us a note, either Tora or myself. We'll be able to have a chance to take a look at it, be able to pull that question and then bring it to the show with our guest. I just got a package in the mail, and everyone does all these unboxing things on the YouTube, right? So I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do an unboxing right now. Oh, that's cool. So this thing has a little zip perforated. I don't get very many packages, people. This is like Christmas for me. And it is what I thought it was. My new shorts, I think. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Looks like my new shorts I ordered. Let's see. That's not a Christmas present because I know exactly what I ordered and what was coming. Okay, it's triple bagged. Looks like a big bag of weed, doesn't it? I don't even know what a big bag of weed looks like except for TV. Yes, indeedy, folks. My new Wrangler shorts. And they're like the cargo kind of shorts. They're not sweet. Yes, look at these. They're not jeans. They're gray. I won't hold them up so you can see how. I'm just kidding. But these are nice. So I like to wear shorts in the summertime, folks. I mean, I just rather not ever wear long pants in the summertime. But I will if I have to. But these are nice. Aren't these nice? Look at these. Sweet. Nice. All right, so I'm excited about that. Got these zipper pockets down here. All right. So they're kind of cargo shorts, but they don't have that big flap in those pockets that stick out way far. I don't know if way far is a real term to use, but way far. They came now out there way far. Yeah. All right, let's see. So Meg and Tora, my 2 likes today. I've got more people watching. However, they're the only ones that put likes. So if you're watching, maybe I know somebody who's out there watching. I would love it if they can like and share. And we can, at the very least, be Facebook friends. All right, folks. So coming up here pretty soon is a good lady by the name of Ivette Monney. And Ivette is a real estate agent in the Northern Virginia region. And she is actually one of the people that's helping us try and find a new location for an office and a set of studios within the office so that more than one person can be broadcasting at the same time. There's a place in Fairfax, or possibly in Arlington or Alexandria, or maybe up in Maryland. That's called the Podcast Village. And my good buddy, well, he's not my good buddy, but I hope that he will become my good buddy pretty soon. Rob Spiewak of the Mike O'Meara Show, TMOS, is one of the guys that's involved with Podcast Village. And we're looking to kind of do essentially the same thing up here down here, if he's up there, down here in Virginia. He isn't actually in Virginia, lives in Leesburg, but I'm not sure where the Podcast Village is. So that's what we're going to try and put our heads together. And I'm not looking to take any business from anybody because there's plenty out there. So that's the idea. And that's what we're looking to do. And we're looking for sponsors now, finally, y'all. So if you'd like to get your name right here across the bottom of the show for the entire show, like when Dr. Ali Karim is on, who's a superstar, then please, by all means, hit us up. Let us know. Call Billy Riley. He's one of my guys. Billy Riley might have been watching, but he doesn't like and share. So I don't ever know if it's him watching or not. I just see someone that's tuning in the eyeball. So, it's almost 5 o'clock, and she's going to be coming on around 5:15. Let's do a couple little books of wisdom things here. This is my dad book that I got for Father's Day one year because my kids love me. Let's see if we can find our children. Men love their children not because they are promising plants, but because they are theirs. Well, mine are promising plants. Daddy's favorite tools are numbered among a child's favorite toys. Guilty. Every kid wants to get his or her hands on Dad's retracting tape measure and his hammer. One father told me that his kids had taken over his undercar creeper as their favorite riding toy, and he has trouble getting it back when he wants to change the oil. The guy was born in 1938, so that's just 2 years before my dad was born. So he's not dead. That's a good thing. And the last, but no, I'm not giving you that piece of wisdom. Never raise your hand at your children. It leaves your midsection unprotected. Ain't that the truth? So that's from that super duper guy. So we just read our little things and someone dropped out, either Meg or Tura. I don't think Tura though, because he's the stay. He's the guy that's there. We were supposed to have on today but I think I wouldn't say trumped our guest that we were supposed to have today, but we kind of did with Dr. Ali Karim. We were supposed to have an ICU nurse on today, and I'm hoping we'll have her on another time because we'd love to get her perspective on how things go in the ICU. I'm sure the ICU, I think everybody who's suffering from COVID is in a COVID ICU. And I'm sure that those people who are putting their lives on the line every day, folks, every day, who deserve our respect, love, and prayers, like Dr. Ali Karim. I mean, he's there at the hospital, and he's got to deal with patients, and he's got to deal with the fact that there are patients who have COVID there at the hospital. So we need to keep all those people in our prayers and our thoughts, and that will, of course, keep them safe. And don't I know it? I have a good friend. If you talk to Clark before, Clark Crawford has come on the show before. One of my favorite guys. He's struggling a little bit because he's not struggling because of the move. He's struggling because of the move. He lives in Texas and has been working on buying a house. And he is going to be moving to Georgia because he wants to be with his daughter, who has told him that she'd like to get into the ministry. So he is just beaming with pride. And but and he would come. She's worth it, is what he told her. He said, you know what? She said, Dad, are you sure you want to move here? And he said, darling, you're worth it. And yeah, so she's worth it, and he wants to do it for that reason. But it's hard to leave where you've lived and your family, whether you're close or not even. It's hard to deal with that. And so we're just going to have to, I think we're going to have to talk to him tomorrow about how he is struggling with that and how he's dealing with that. It's not tomorrow, actually. We don't have a show tomorrow. But he's going to be on his way on Monday. So maybe what we'll do is we'll figure out a way for him to mount a nice little bracket in his car so that while he's on that long trip to Georgia, he can, he can be talking to us. But I don't think it's a good idea either, because that's distracted driving, and we don't want to promote that at all. So, I don't mind at all tagging you in the caption, my friend, and I will do it. Ali Karim, ladies and gentlemen, was just Facebooked me, and you can also do that, folks, just by going to Facebook, going to the More Joy Media page, and watching the show. And the reason I'm stalling right now is because our good friend Ivette Monney is going to be coming on here momentarily. I have to send her a link. How about I already did that. Never mind. I already did do that. So let's take a quick break. Stay tuned. Check this. Check this. Okay, now I'm kind of back. So I wanted to text. Let me text this here to Ali. And we'll talk to him about it another time. Anybody out there, though, because I'm not going to dismiss the fact that my buddies are out there. And I hope Turo went off, but he didn't realize that we're not gone, because we're here. We're waiting for Miss Ivette Monney, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Ivette Monney. And let's see what we got from Mr. Turo. And then that's fine to Ivette. And just hit the link when you're ready. So now I'm just killing time, folks. I don't know why I can't talk and type at the same time. It's a motor skills thing I got going on. The brain goes 800 miles a minute, but it's hard to slow down enough to be able to text. So that's probably the reason. Yeah. All right, everybody. So a couple other things I wanted to address with everybody today. So a quick little text out to a friend. And so we're standing by to have Ivette Monney come on, and I'm looking forward to talking to her we are in that place right now where we're kind of awkward because I didn't plan for anything. So I had promised Tura that I was going to give him some money, but I'm afraid he's not going to earn it today because we didn't get it all straightened out. Just kidding. So what else we got going here, folks? Just trying to find something that we can entertain you with. I know what I want to pull out, but it doesn't seem to be localized. I wanted to pull out my little deal with the Book of World Records so that we can go look at Billy Riley's world record. I don't know if all of them are listed. I would think that they are. And I'm yawning again, so I don't know what's going on with all that. I had a nice nap this afternoon not really a nice nap. It was kind of one of those halfway. Oh my gosh, it was 20 minutes later. But I don't know that I ever really got to sleep. So I'm not sure where we are with Ivette, but we will try our best to get hold of her. ETA. There we go. So there's a couple of different things as we discussed what going on with COVID. The COVID thing is still active, folks. Don't let anybody kid you. And I want to say, please, if you are out there, we just talked to, by the way, people who are just tuning in, please like and share. I'd appreciate that if you would do that. Let me get forward some. It's closer. Bam. Please like and share the program up, and they're already gone, so that we can make sure. And I got a ding here from. Okay, so that's a good friend of mine. He just went into the ER, so I have to listen to that and see what's going on with that. And he just said he's getting old. So no COVID issues, and that's a good thing because he's a super guy. Let's go to this little deal here, and Tony Dean. You know what? Yes, I do, my good buddy. My buddy Tony Dean. I would love to talk to him about his COVID journey. And let's see if he can do that right now. Last second. And we can pull Billy on. And Tura on. So, yeah, that'll be good. I'm glad we got that going on. And to see if my man Clark Crawford, see if he wants to come on. So I say to all my good friends out there, if you ever see a post on your messenger that says, hey, engage and come on the show, then that's from me, and I'm live, and I'd love to have you come on the show. So that's how that goes. If Tura is watching right now, that's pretty funny, Bill. Moon River. Anybody know what that concept is? Moon River. That's from Fletch. If you've never seen the movie Fletch or Fletch Lives, please, folks, you got to rent them. They're funny. I think they're funny. I hope that you might think they're funny. It's exciting to watch things like that. So I'm waiting for someone named Ivette Monney to come on the program with me. I'm looking forward to it. She said 5:15, so she probably is pretty good about sticking to her time schedule, being a real estate agent that she is. So let's see if she does do that. And if she does, I'm a happy puppy because I'd love to talk to her about where she is as far as my search is concerned. And then she can talk a little bit about what's happening with her and her business. And she's also supremely into the community and helping in the community. And she does half of her time doing her business and half of her time volunteering. And so that's the kind of person I like to have on the show. So if you have the opportunity, if you think that's something, if you know somebody like that, please let us know. All you have to do is get on More Joy Media's Facebook page and send us a message. That would be great. We'd love to, and tell us a little bit about who the person is that you're tuning, that you're recommending to us to have on the program. Tell us a little bit who they are, how we can contact them, or if we need to contact you to get to them. That's definitely one way for us to do it. So that's kind of where we are. And like I said, this is really stall tactics right now. I didn't have anything totally planned for this point in our show, because we were waiting for a friend who was supposed to be on at 4:30, but she is totally running late and still wants to come on, and I really want to get her on. So let's make sure we take the time to do that. I do have another friend I would love to have brought on. I've sent out my message to a couple different people. Billy Riley is one, but you know what? Billy Riley needs to like and share when he watches, so I know it's him. And then there's also another friend who might be tuning in to see what's going on. And then there's Clark Crawford, who I sent it to, and I'd love to have him come on. He's supreme, man. Let me tell you, he is something else. And I sent that to Billy, but didn't hit enter. So, Billy, you're off the hook. Laura. Apparently, Tura messaged me. I thought he did, but he doesn't look like he did. And so who else do I have here? Anyway, it was great to have Ali Karim on with us. He is our insider doctor, and it's really awesome to have him in there. I have a sweet friend who liked More Joy Media, and she may be perhaps in fact watching the program, but I'm glad that she at least liked the page. That's a good thing for us. And we're going to see something here, folks. That's Paul Gibbs. My sarcasm. I'm on sarcasm and CHIT. Of course, what does it sound like? Yes, it does sound like that. But that's a funny site to be on if you're so inclined and you don't have, you're not worried about making people upset with you or being upset. So yeah, that's how that goes. So anyway, folks, let's get back to the show. I've got a few people watching. I've got people calling. So my friend Fred Schwery, who's he's getting on in age. He ain't that old though. He said we can do a show on old guy medicine and prostate exams, memory loss, and bladder issues. And then BK Blaster chimed in and said, I'd need oxygen. It would go off the rails. But sure. Because Bill and I are getting there, boy, howdy. I tell you, BK, we're on our way. We are traveling in that direction, aren't we? But I still got a lot of vigor in me. So I'm not looking to lay down and die anytime soon. We're still waiting for Ivette Monney, and unfortunately, if I can't get her to get on at 5:15, then we're going to have to shut the show down for the day, and we'll have her on Monday, which will be fantastic. But I'd like to have her right now, so hopefully she'll take the chance, take the time, and do that, and then we can always have, lots of other stuff going on around us, especially with our friends watching. Please like and share. As I always say, it's not a scam. If you like and share, it does not, folks, it does not put you in a position where I'm going to send you emails and all that kind of stuff, unless you're cute. What? George Walden, man. Okay, let me see. Es geht mir gut, danke schön. Das sind meine Freunde. Er wohnt in München. Ich habe geschrieben Munich. That's kind of Munich in Germany, in Deutschland. This is called München, Deutschland, not Munich, Germany. Remember this, please. And my beer's getting cold. Well, that's right. It's not supposed to be getting cold in Germany. But I like cold beer. You know, I'm not a real big beer drinker, but Weissbier, das ist mein, ich möchte Weissbier. Seriously. Seriously, Mr. George Walden. George, you're the best, man. I appreciate you chiming in. And I bet you that's your like up here. Sure as heck is. You're a good follower of instructions, George. I appreciate you. How long have you been there, George? And what are you doing over there? Did you marry a little German girl over there or something? And you're living the life? Living the life? Mr. Walden, got kids, little German kids running around going, Vater, danke schön, Vater, gib mir eine Saft, bitte, Saft. Ich möchte Saft. All that kind of stuff. Is that what you're hearing over there? Huh? Vater, gib mir Saft, bitte. Does anybody know what I just said? No. I said, Daddy, give me some juice or give me a drink. Anyway, Saft. That's what we used to drink when I lived there when I was a kid. I lived there when I was, how old? Let me see. I was 10, 11, and 12 when I lived in Germany. 10, 11, and 12. Is that right? No. 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10, I believe. I think we moved here when I was 10 or 11. Is that 6th grade? I know my parents tried to hold me back into 5th grade because, well, you know, they say the U.S. Military schools are not as advanced as, well, I'm sorry. They say that no school system is advanced as Fairfax County. No, Siri. Thank you. Siri just heard me say sorry. No, she didn't turn on that time. Tried to catch her. Sorry. All right, Ali Karim. He says, no problem for being on the show. We do appreciate it so much. It's incredible how awesome it is to have a special doctor just for our program that we can latch on to and ask questions of. So I will have to get some questions from my mom. She was very mad at me today because I went and had lunch with a friend, and she seems to think I was putting myself in jeopardy. But alas, I think that I was doing okay. So we're going to look for Ivette Monney and see if she can come on with us. And I'm going to see right now. Moon River. All right. Let me see here. Where is my man Tora Arsala? I just told my superstar scheduler what's going on, and I don't think Yvette's going to be completely and utterly mad at us if we don't have her on, but you never can tell. Let's see here. All right. Well, as always, Microsoft account found a problem, and they always do. So that's okay with me, because that's how that works. So, ladies and gentlemen, so George Walden, you've been... Dude, that is awesome, buddy. Golly, I need to have you on the show then. I will. GeorgeWalden.com. I'm going there. Take care. Auf Wiedersehen. Und. I'll probably change it. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen zum Ihnen. Noch. I would love to come do some TV over there with you, except for I don't speak German. I don't know if I have to or not. Hey, who knows? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up here on the Be Encouraged program for 4:30 p.m. And we'll have Ivette Monney on another time. That'll be awesome. Can't wait to have her on. Thanks for watching today. Sorry that we took so long. I was hoping that we would have her on, but she's obviously waylaid, so not a problem. Take care.